Hello. Happy end of March. Golly, man, 2019 is going up speeding by, isn't it? It's crazy. Um, I got a lot to share with you, but I have a little thing I want to share with you before I share with you my dates. And I'm going to come to your town. I'm going to so many places this summer. It's cuckoo crazy, but it's going to be amazing. I'm going to come and I'm teaching classes, live classes, doing readings. So hopefully I'll be coming where you are because I'm going everywhere. Can't think of any place I'm not going. But before I get into that, I want to talk about something that came up today in a message. I don't want to say who this person is because I don't have permission to say who it is, but one of the spell squad. Let's just say that one of the spell squad who's here pretty much every week on Instagram, and sometimes YouTube. Anyway, this person said we had a conversation about people backstabbing, and then this person came back and they said how things had turned around. And I had said to them, I'd forgotten I had said this, that the best revenge that you can get on someone that's a backstabber is to have big success. And it reminded me of something from the Olympics. Adam Rippon, remember, he was like the huge, phenomenal figure skater who was like blowing up in terms of like recognition and being on every show and being a superstar, right? And there's this picture that I'm going to post later on Instagram because I think it's just so brilliant. He's got a pre-printed sign, and maybe you saw this. He's got a pre-printed sign that says, I want to thank you. No, it's like something like, I should find it. Something like, I want to thank these people for getting me to the Olympics. And then it's a space for the person to write like my mom or, my family or whatever. And he wrote all my haters with a big heart next to it. And what I want to talk about is, before we get started with the stuff that's coming up and where I'm going to be and all that, is how you can transmute energy. Energy is energy. Energy is energy. So if someone is throwing you some attitude, or someone is throwing negative energy, or someone's ripping you off or backstabbing you, it's possible to take that energy and go, I'm going to transmute that energy into success for myself. I'm going to transmute that energy into attraction power for myself. Or I'm going to transmute that energy into fame for myself. So when somebody's being crappy and they're throwing a bunch of negativity at you, see if you can't, in a way, instead of getting into the victim or being beaten down by the energy, or instead of getting aggressive with you, do the kung fu move, as I always say. No, jujitsu. I don't know martial arts, people, so don't quote me on this. But whatever one is the one where you take the energy of your opponent and you use it against them. It's like, take that energy that they're giving you and make it glorious for you. Thank you. I'll take your negativity and I'm going to turn that crap into gold. I'm going to spin that in a way that brings me the success. It's a good thing to do. And my fabulous Spell Squad person did that very thing. We had talked about it and they did it. And I'm super proud of that person. All right. So here's what's coming up. Some exciting things coming up. This Wednesday, I'm going to be on the Third Eye Thinkers podcast, the Third Eye Thinkers podcast. So look it up. You can go find it on YouTube. It's 3RD, third spelled that way, Eye Thinkers. And this is Michelle from Soultopia in Dallas's podcast that she has. I'm going to be the guest this week on Wednesday at 2 p.m. Pacific. You're going to have to translate that. That's 3 p.m. Mountain Time, 4 p.m. Central Time, 5 p.m. East Coast Time, okay? On Wednesday, I'm going to be doing a live podcast, but the podcast lives on iTunes and all of those places, and it will also be on YouTube, and it's going to be a live podcast and a visual, so I'm going to have to put makeup on, for Soultopia, Michelle of Soul, who owns Soultopia in Dallas. She's the one that's the host, and there's another host who I'm not remembering her name at this moment. I'm sorry, but I'll be on Third Eye Thinkers this Wednesday at 2 p.m. Pacific. we're going to talk about tarot, I guess. I don't know what we're going to talk about. It's going to be fun. I'm going out to Soultopia. I know that. So we're going to talk about that. I'm going to be coming out to Dallas. Coming up, April, I'm going to be in the UK all the month of April, going to be in England, maybe a little bit of France in there if I can get on that Eurostar train, just having some fun. But if there's some things that I should know about in the UK that are in England or, you know, or in Paris that I should know about and I should go see or do, please let me know. Send me a message, put a comment below the YouTube, or go ahead and if you put a comment on the side, I won't see it, but if you put a comment below, I'll see it. And if you are on Instagram, just put a comment below or comment on this recording and let me know. In May, I'm going to be coming out to Sacramento to Light Weavers. It's actually in Citrus Heights, but Sacramento area. I'm going to be coming out to Light Weavers. I'm going to be the guest reader on the 23rd and the 25th of May. And the 24th, I'm going to teach a class in candle magic. I may even have maybe my new candle magic book out then. At least the foundations in candle magic book will be out then. Maybe not the advanced one, but the foundations might be out then. Maybe we'll see. We'll see what's happening with that. Don't know quite yet, but that might be happening. June 5th, 6th, I'm going to be at Ritual Craft. June 7th, 8th, and 9th, I'll be at INATS in Denver. So 5th and 6th in Denver at Ritual Craft. 7th, 8th, and 9th, I'll be at INATS. 10th and 11th, I'll be at Ritual Craft. I'll be teaching two classes: incense making natural magical incense with all natural ingredients. And I'll be teaching a class in the candle magic, advanced candle magic in that context. I'll also be doing the palmistry tarot mashup with Jim Barker of the Divine Hand. He and I will be teaching a class at Ritual Craft. I'll be doing readings at INATS in the Wiser booth. What else is going on? That's June 29th and 30th. I'm going to go to the Pirate Invasion. I'm not doing anything there, but dressing up like a pirate. So if you want to see me dressed like a pirate, remember last year when I did I think I did an Instagram feed for that one. We'll see. Maybe I'll do it again, but you can come see me, hang out with me, and be a pirate with me in Long Beach, California on the 29th, 30th. It's just me hanging out. There's no magical thing going on there. I'm going to be in Soultopia on the 12th, 13th, and 14th. I'm going to be teaching how to make spell packets out of tarot cards. And I'm also going to be teaching alongside Jim Barker of Divine Hand. We're going to be doing the palmistry tarot mashup class there. And I may be doing readings there. We're still confirming that, but I will be in Dallas at Soultopia, July 12th, 13th, and 14th. I will be in Boise, Idaho, the 27th and 28th for Goddess Fest. We're going to teach our palmistry tarot mashup class there 2 times. I'm going to be in Seattle at a place to be determined. I'll have that information maybe next week, 16th, 17th, 18th of August. And looking into September, I see in my crystal ball that I will be somewhere on the East Coast, dates to be determined, places to be determined, but that's what I'm working on for September, East Coast stuff. I want to see the fall leaves. Speaking of which, I'm going to be in the UK. I'm going to be having to move our Sunday. I do want to do my Sunday sessions with you guys, but I'm going to have to kind of play it by ear and definitely move it up in time because it's like, I don't know, 3 a.m. in England right now, 1 in the morning, something absurdly late at night. So I may be doing, for the month of April, I may be doing it at noon or something else, but I'll let you guys know next week. Next week will be at normal time, 5 p.m. Pacific here, and I'll have more information maybe about what we're going to do for while I'm in the UK. Alrighty, let's get to some questions. That's what we're here for. Let me pop open a water. I need a Trader Joe's sponsorship. Trader Joe's, give me free water. It's not a tea party day, it's a water party. Sounds a little weird. All right. Okay, let's look over. Let's start with Instagram today. Hi, everybody on Instagram. You're so cute. Let's see what we got. Please, Boston. Yes, Boston will definitely be on the agenda, but I have to coordinate where in Boston exactly. But Boston is definitely on the agenda because my publisher, Wiser, who published my book, Madame Pamita's Magical Tarot, they're in Boston. So I'll be definitely going to Boston, hanging out with those guys. So Boston is for sure, for sure. Hi, everybody. Hello, hello. Let's see if we can get to some questions. Okay, let's go over to everyone's just saying hi over on Instagram. No questions. All right, well, I'll go over to while you guys on Instagram are coming up with some ideas for some questions. I'm going to go over to YouTube. That's never happened before. All right. Hi, so when on YouTube says, "Hi, Madam Pamita, any advice, tips to stay positive and have faith in our spell work, law of attraction to get our significant, our special person SP back after losing hope? Thanks." Okay. I think there's a couple things we can talk about with that. So let's say you're doing some magic that you want to have a reconciliation with a certain person. I think it's worthwhile to do that magic, but also to be understanding that you're doing co-creation. See, people have this concept that magic is, or any kind of work is sometimes not working. But there's another element to it. As I've done a lot of course, I've done a lot of work over the years, and I've also done a lot of spiritual work and connecting with my guides, connecting with my spirit teachers, and asking them questions about things. And one of the questions I have asked and have gotten information about is, how does this process of magic work? Like, I want to be able to explain to you guys, how does magic work? How does it work? The information that they have shown me, which doesn't mean this is the Bible, this is the only way, this is the da 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 da. So don't think that's what I'm saying. But what I have been shown is a formula of how things work that is consistent. It's like consistent, like the law of gravity. That doesn't mean that one day gravity won't work, but it has always worked and it will probably continue to work, right? So when we're doing some kind of manifestation, and any spell work is for a manifestation, whether you're manifesting protection, prosperity, love, reconciliation, you're wanting a manifestation. You are co-creating with a force that we could call the universe, spirit, God, the force. I mean, you can call it whatever you want, but there's something that you're co-creating with that is beyond just your physical form. You're tapping into something. So when that co-creation process happens, it's like two people working on something, right? If you and I are going to work on something together, we decide, hey, we're going to put on a show. You're going to do the acting and I'm going to write the script. Or hey, we're going to create a shop. You're going to come up with all the creative ideas and I'm going to do the sales part or whatever. There's a cooperation that happens where we each bring our talents that are different talents to the table and we create something. Okay, so we understand that concept. When you're co-creating with the universe, when you're co-creating with spirit, you are co-creating and using your talents and spirits using its talents, their talents, whatever you want to call it. The universe is using its talents, you're using yours. Your talent as a human in physical form is material world action. You also get to come up with the idea of what's good for you, and you get to take the action toward that idea. Spirit's specialty is opening doors and closing doors, leading you to the outcome that you want. All right. So going back to that and understanding that concept, you're working together. You both have different specialties, but you all are going to work toward the goal of the thing that you envision. So let's say we have a reconciliation spell that we're doing. If the universe, and you are co-creating with the universe, whether you want to have that concept or believe that concept or not, you are. So when you are co-creating with the universe, let's say you say, I want, John Smith and me, or Susie Jones and me, to be reconciled and to be back together again. That is the idea that you're coming up with, the intention that you're coming up with. Now, I love to throw in there the perfect, in my spell work, I put in this co-creation contract, which is the perfect outcome in perfect timing. When I get to that saying, and when I say that perfect outcome and perfect timing phrase, it is saying to the universe, I trust you. You know when this is going to, when to take the cake out of the oven. You know if this is even the right cake. I may think it's the right cake and I may think it's time to take the cake out of the oven, but you, universe, know. So I am putting that part into the hands of the expert. And I'm going to do my part to reconcile. So my part may be to reach out to that person. My part may be to do some magical work. My part may be to do whatever. But I'm going to trust that the universe is going to open the door that has the very, very best for me, and any door that doesn't have the best for me to keep that door closed. Now, if you are not seeing a reconciliation, it may be one of a number of things. Number one, it may be that you need to do some work personally that requires you to be not in a relationship, and they may need to be, and or they may need to be doing some work that requires them not to be in the relationship before the two of you can come together and really have a happy, healthy relationship. It may be that that person over there has some complications. You may be ready for the relationship, but they have some complications that need working on, and they've got to do that work. And until they do that work, the relationship is not going to be a happy, healthy one. It may be a whole other thing. You want a happy and healthy and wonderful relationship, and maybe that person can't offer that to you or ever or at this time. So if you are open and drilling down to the true nature of what it is that you want, I want a beautiful relationship. I leave it open to the best person coming in. It may be that John Smith or Susie Jones comes in. That's great. Or it may be that someone else comes in. That's also great. It's no lose either way. So what someone is calling a spell not working may be an issue of the perfect outcome, or it may be an issue of the perfect timing. And so that's why we say when you do a spell, give it a few months to see if you are getting a manifestation. You're going to check it along the way, but within a few months, you should get your manifestation. If you're not, try something else, get a reading, see if there's something else that you need to be doing on this situation that you haven't addressed, some action that you need to be taking that you haven't addressed. Or maybe it's that you need to let the relationship go and that you need to bring in a better version of that relationship with a new person, a way better version of that relationship with a new person. So that's when I say, yeah, someone says my spell isn't working. Well, okay, you may need to address something else, or you may need to give it time because that person is working on their issues, or you maybe need to be open to bring in that better version of the relationship. But I trust the universe. The universe has never done me wrong. And even in things that have seemed hard and terrible, there have been things that I have gained out of those experiences. There have been things in the hardest experience that have been gains for me, or things that are gifts, and opening up an awareness and opening up all kinds of good things coming. So don't judge what it is right now as bad without seeing the possibility and saying that it is possible that there's some gift in this experience. In a gift of separation for someone, the very best gift that gift of separation is that you get to do your self-love work. I mean, that's like a baseline thing. If we're in a relationship and now the two of you are separated, it's not supposed to be about you checking your watch. When are we going to get back together? But what can I do to love myself during this time? Not look to someone else to fill my heart or do this, but what can I do to love myself and give myself self-care during this time? Baseline. So I don't think of those things as having, as not working. So don't lose hope. Focus on your self-love. Don't lose hope. Trust in the divine energy that is saying to you, this isn't the right time for this relationship to get back together, because it may be that you need to work on yourself or they need to work on themselves. Okay. All right, let's look over at what we got over on Instagram. I love my little hearts. I poke on Instagram and then suddenly all these hearts appear. Is it me doing it? I think it's you guys doing it. That's what I wanted to tell you guys. Somebody said, who's the winner of the contest? We have a contest going on Instagram right now. It's an amazing contest. I totally forgot about that, you guys. Thank you for reminding me. We have an amazing contest. So I have a mastermind group I have a beginning mastermind group and I have an experienced mastermind group. And my experienced mastermind group is made up of Miss Melinda, Tarot Witchery, Mama V, Conjuring the Root, Divine Hand Palmistry, and Christina Galvez. All right. So we are all experienced practitioners, and we put together a prize package with a palm reading, a Reiki healing, a distance Reiki healing, a reading, a spell package, a signed copy of my book, and a meditation CD for me. All these things are in this one huge prize package that one person is going to win, and you still have time to enter. So if you are on Instagram, go over to my site, look for the post that I made that says the Springtacular giveaway that has a purple flower, a photo of a purple flower, kind of blurry in the background. That is the one where you need to tag 3 friends. You need to follow me. Obviously, you're already following me, but you need to follow the other 5 people. You don't have to post it again. You do have to post it once, repost from mine or repost from one of theirs, and then put your 3 people that you tag. You don't have to tag everybody. You don't have to repost everybody. You only have to repost it once. And then you're entered to be in the contest. The contest rules are all there. So go back into my feed, go back after we're done here, go back into my feed, go into the post and find the one with the purple flower, and you still have time to enter. It ends at midnight tonight, Pacific time. So that means you've got another 7 hours to enter, 6.5 hours to enter. So go do that, because it's an amazing prize package. It's so worth it. It's like you get more than $400 worth of services and gifts and things sent. It's like a huge prize pack. It's the biggest prize I have ever seen up on Instagram that isn't by a huge corporation that's just put on. It's the biggest magical prize for sure. So you definitely want to be in here. You just have to follow me and the other 5 people, and then like this post and repost it. The directions are all there. And on one of ours, just put the 3 people that you want to tag, and do that today, because we're going to have the drawing tomorrow. So I'm going to, we're each going to pick from our page one person by random. I'm going to have my assistant pick a number. I'm going to count down, whatever that number is. And then I'm going to pull that number and then check on to make sure that person followed all the rules. And then if they did, send it over. And Ruth of the Tarot Witchery is going to pick one out of our 6 that we each contribute. And that's going to be the one that's going to win the prize. So sneaky tip is, if you tag 3 friends on each of our 6 pages, you got 6 entries instead of just 1, but you don't have to. You could just do it on 1. May luck be with you. I didn't watch the Hunger Games. May chance be with you. I'm like your grandma who doesn't know anything. All you kids are doing out there, your Hunger Games and all that stuff. All right. So here's a question over on Instagram. Stormtrooper Gab, hi. What are your thoughts on not reading reversals in a tarot spread? I think it's fine. I have a fabulous tarot teacher who never reads reversals. I've had other tarot readers who do read reversals. I kind of subtly read reversals. So I read reversals, but kind of quasi don't. When I resettle the cards before a reading, I turn them all upright. And then I hand that deck to the person. Now, if they turn the cards upside down, then I definitely see that there's something going on there. But the way I read reversals is that reversals are blocked energy around that topic. So let's pull a card at random. Let's see what we get. Okay, Queen of Swords energy. If this were reversed, I would, okay, so Queen of Swords, one of the things she's good at drawing boundaries, clear boundaries. So reversed would be if I were doing an intuitive reading and what I saw was this was about boundaries. You're not drawing clear boundaries. Your boundaries are blocked. You are not doing the thing that you should be doing, which is to draw those clear boundaries. Let's do another one. Oh, Eight of Wands. So Eight of Wands is fast movement with no blocks. So Eight of Wands reversed is like, you got something that you got to work on that's going to get you to turn this energy around to make things move more smoothly. So that's a very subtle way. I don't particularly call out reversals and go, oh, you've got a reverse card here and this is what it means, or it means the opposite. I look at that card as an upright card with blocked energy. So that's how I read reversals. Princess Glamorous. Hi, love. She's over on YouTube. That's Princess Farhana. She's the star of the show of Bell Book and Candle, where I was last Wednesday. It was her birthday. She did a fabulous dance. Fabulous to Witchy Woman, right? I think that was what it was. Evil Woman? No, Witchy Woman. All right. It was beautiful. Let's see. Okay. Mina Kittyful. Why work in a competitive office? What can I do to protect from envy? Aha. Well, there's some definite things. Again, what we were talking about at the very beginning, Adam Rippon's spell. I take the energy of my haters and I turn it into my success at the Olympics and my fame, right? So I thank my haters because you give me energy. I have done this before, this kind of work before. It's not sending energy back to someone, but it's actually taking that negative energy. And like, if you're feeling it or you feel confident enough, you feel strong enough, it's like, take your energy of your haters and just say, every bit of hate that you give me is going to make me stronger. I'm going to eat it and I'm going to turn it into my strength. You know, I feel like it's like a monster that's going to like, I'm going to take all that negativity and I'm going to be the successful one of all of us, you know. That's one way of turning it. But if that's not your jam or you're not feeling it, or if it's too much, if it's too close, you know, sometimes if it's very close, that can be hard to do. You can do protective work to block them. Certainly wearing powerful protection oil. Oh my gosh, you guys. Can I just talk about powerful protection oil? I am addicted to this oil that I made. It is so deliciously yummy. It smells like frankincense and myrrh. It has this power in it that's like you're wrapping yourself in this cloud of amazing, mystical, magical, Eastern, you know, Turkish incense. Smells amazing. And you're wrapping yourself in this veil of protection so that no one can get at you. And it smells divine. You will wear it as a perfume. You will be protected every day and you can use it, but you could use it as a perfume with this amazing incense smell that is just out of this world. So, if you use powerful protection incense, you can put that on yourself. You could make a little spray bottle. If you have like a little cubicle, you could make a little spray bottle and spray it in your area. Say it's air freshener or aromatherapy or whatever you're doing. Put a spray bottle with some spring water, add several drops, shake it up, and then spray it around. You just made a smokeless incense in your area. And you could say it's aromatherapy. You could put it on yourself and wrap yourself in this cloud of protection. You could also have in your office black tourmaline. Another thing that you could do if you have a desk or someplace like that, you can get a small black tourmaline, stick it in your drawer, or you can get a big chunky one and stick it on your desk, or you can find little ones and make a little gemstone crystal mandala on your desk. You know, there's lots of ways that you can work with that. So those are some tips, but the powerful protection oil, you guys, you have to smell it to believe it. It is, if you are into incense, like I'm into incense, I mean, I grew up Catholic, incense was a big deal. I also grew up in the 60s. Incense was a big deal. So you will love this smell. It will be just like the best smell. I just am addicted to it. So you got to try it out. All right. So let's see what we got going on Instagram. How can I get over someone who broke my heart? Karmic flame. This is from Mira Lori. Hi guys. Love those hearts. You're so cute. Um, so how can I get over someone who has broken my heart? There's a really good spell for detaching when you're trying to detach from a really intense attachment, like a karmic flame, a twin flame, or soul mate connection that you're just really aching over and really suffering with. There's a herb that I sell. It's actually not an herb, it's a nut, fruit, I guess. Black walnuts. So you can get black walnut husks. And so you take black walnut husks and you put them into boiling water and you make a, uh, a, a tea out of this black walnut husk. Traditionally, we use 9 black walnut husks, and then we make a potion out of that. Now, this is not something that you're going to drink. This is something that you're going to cleanse and bathe. Now, be aware that black walnut husks are a dye, so it will stain your skin like a yellowy orange, yellowy color. So you're going to have to, put it on a, Friday night when you're not going to be at work, and you can then um, wash it off over the week and the weekend and let it be um, uh, you know not so stainy, or you can dilute it and dilute it down to where it's not so stainy, or you can add small amounts of it to a bath and do a bath over several days. Like I would, it's just sort of a general rule. I would do 9 husks. I would do a bath over 9 days, and you can add a little bit of it to your bath. It's going to stain your tub. It's going to stain you, but if this is like nothing else has worked to break this karmic tie, and you need to break this karmic tie, that is an excellent thing to do. You can also do it in the shower where you're pouring it over yourself if you don't have a bath or you don't want to stain your bath. But again, understand that it has a dyeing quality to it and that it's going to stain stuff. So test it out before you use it if you don't want to be look like an Oompa Loompa. So that's a good one for those very, very tough situations where you can't break free. All right, let's look over at YouTube. Queen Dawkins says, hello, what are some oils that you can work similar to bend over oil? Okay, so essence of bend over oil, let's talk about what that is. Essence of bend over oil is to get someone to comply to your wishes, to get someone, it's a dominating oil, but there's several kind of levels of domination. And I'm going to talk about them from gentlest to strongest. So gentlest dominating oil is influence oil. I won't hit all of them, but I'll hit the main ones. Influence oil. So influence oil is to get someone to think the way you want them to think. It does have a coercive quality. So if you're not into coercive magic, this isn't for you. But influence oil is something that we use to get someone to think the way we want them to think. Then we have compelling oil. Compelling oil is used to get someone to make good on a promise that they did. So they had the intention of doing something, but they didn't come through, and now you're going to compel them to do it. So it's like someone said, hey, I'm going to, I want us to get married, but then they backed off. You could use compelling oil on them because they made, or if they said, let's get married, and then they backed out of it, you could compel them to do that. I don't know if that would be ideal. Personally, I'm thinking like, well, I do another kind of work, but it could be used for that. Compelling oil says somebody's going, I'm going to pay you back, but then they never do. You can compel them to pay back and so on. Next step up would be controlling oil. Controlling oil is to get control over someone. Not quite as strong as domination, but definitely stronger than compelling and influence oil. It's like I'm controlling them. I'm going to call the shots here. Stepping it up a bit, we have essence of bend over. Essence of bend over is to get someone. I hope my roof isn't falling. Kids are living upstairs. All kinds of shenanigans up there. Essence of bend over is to get someone to do as you wish them to do, and it's kind of a little bit like they're going to grovel a little bit. You're going to raise yourself up and put them down a little bit. So essence of bend over is they're going to bend over backwards for me. Kind of a side note, that can also be like boss fix, or boss fix is to get your boss to do what you want them to do, your boss to like you and to favor you and all of those things. So that's another domination oil, but a different, just for bosses. Essence of bend over can be used on bosses. It can be used on anybody. Stepping it up a bit, we have domination. I dominate my man. I dominate my woman. Those domination oils. Domination oils are heavy domination. That there's a kind of a crushing of almost like a crushing of their spirit or crushing of their will that goes with domination. It doesn't mean that sometimes it's not necessary, or that I would say it's gray magic area. It's coercive magic. So you're getting into real heavy control of someone that has a kind of a real, kind of heavy energy around it. So those are where they fit in. And so you can see where essence of bend over is not quite as strong as domination, but definitely stronger than controlling oil or compelling oil or influence oil. So, all right, that makes sense. If you want to step it up or you want to step it back, you can know where to go on the scale. All right, let's look over at Insta. Hi, guys. Yes, Ambrose Asteria, how have you announced the winner of your contest? We will announce, I believe on Monday or Tuesday, we'll announce the winner of the contest. So get in there if you haven't gotten in there. Mills, 1023, do you feel that some people have a natural connection with the universe and spirits which create better spell outcomes? I think there are, just like there's people, I think anyone can learn magic. This is something that I very, very firmly believe. Anyone can learn anything that they put their mind and their concentration to. So if you want to be an artist or a musician, you might be born with a natural talent. And I would say, from my deep spiritual understanding, a lot of times those child prodigies or those people that have a natural talent have that talent because they've had prior lifetimes where they were that thing. So if you were, if you have a natural knack for writing, then it is because you were a writer in a prior lifetime. Or if you have a natural knack for art, it's because you were an artist in a prior lifetime, or money or whatever, So there's some people that have a natural ability in some area because they've had prior experience in other lifetimes. But that doesn't mean if you've never been that thing that you can never be that thing. Meaning if you've never been an artist in a previous lifetime, you can learn to paint in this lifetime and become even a very capable and successful artist in this lifetime. But you're starting from zero. People that have a past life start at a little more advantage, right? So same thing with magic. I think there are people who have had past lives where they were spirit workers, shamanic workers. And it certainly helps if you have family lineage where you were raised in an environment where you were taught these things, So I say the example is everybody knows how to, I don't know, cook scrambled eggs. I think vast majority of us know how to make scrambled eggs, right? But imagine if you were growing up in a house where no one ever cooked, where that you weren't hanging out in a kitchen and you were never taught to cook. You would have no idea what a pan is or even how to make scrambled eggs if you'd never had the experience of cooking, if you didn't grow up in an environment where people were cooking. So most of us have grown up in a house where someone made a scrambled egg before. And so we understand you take a pan, you put some grease in that pan, and then you crack your egg, you stir it up, and then you pour it into the pan, and then you move it around the pan. I mean, it's not the hardest thing in the world. But if you can imagine someone who never experienced that, they wouldn't have the first idea. How do I make a scrambled egg? Where does it even come from? So the same thing with magic. If you've had the advantage of growing up in a home where magic was done in the home, and spell work was done, I had that advantage. I had a mom that was unconsciously, she was not like I'm a witch or I'm doing magic, but she was doing magic. And she would describe to me the magic that my grandmother would do and so on. I had a bit of an advantage because I grew up as a magical child, but I also get the sense that there were past lives of doing magic, and I get those, that feedback often. So, so those people that have the advantage of having a magical home or a past life where they were magical workers or that they were connected to spirit or that they were having that divine connection have an advantage, right? They have an advantage. Same thing I could say, example, learning a second language. If you grew up in a bilingual household, it's easy for you to switch back and forth between languages. But if you grew up in a household where you only did one language, does that mean you can never learn the new language? No, of course you can learn the new language. It won't be as easy as being in a house where you had it all around you, but it can be done, and you can even get to be fluent and a natural speaker. So, so I don't know that it creates better outcomes, but it makes it easier, faster. You'll get up to speed faster with it. That if you have had those advantages of having that magical upbringing or having that past life doing that. And maybe there's some talent that goes with it, some certain characteristics, but I think like anything, you can learn anything. That's why I love to teach magic. I love to teach tarot because I believe that everyone has the capability within them. And one of my most favorite things, my absolutely most favorite things is when you guys, the spell squad, you guys out there, show me your work. I'm doing this work. I didn't ever think I could do it. And I'm doing it because I watched your video or I saw it or I took a class with you or blah, 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 blah. And that have seen that progression, especially in the tarot classes where we start at beginning level and people have no experience with the tarot. And I take them all the way to being professional tarot readers. Is there anything that's more joyful? Not for me, that's for sure. One of the most joyful things is empowering you guys, seeing you. It's like, it's as joyful as watching a little kid learn how to walk. What's more adorable and more joyful than seeing that moment of like, oh, I'm walking, I'm doing it. And when I see you guys doing spell work and I see you guys reading tarot and I see these things and you're like, oh my God, I learned that from you. I feel like I feel like the most gratified I can feel. That is one of my big joys in life, is to be the teacher and to help you guys empower yourselves to do your spell work, right? I can do candles for you all day long. That's no problem. I love doing it. But more thrilling for me is seeing you guys do your spell work and take the lessons and the information that I give you and turn that into something. That to me is like my reason for being here, is to teach you. So I love it. Okay, let's look over. Hi, Dominica. Chaya Batsvi. I probably said you Batsvi. What kind of working helps remove a negative person from your life? Okay. Well, we kind of talked about that. If it's a relationship thing, that 9 walnuts thing will work if you're really having a hard time. But if it's just some kind of stranger or person in your life, you could certainly do cleansing baths to get their energy off of you and to separate them. You could do spell work in terms of candle work of a kind of reverse come to me spell. Let's talk about that. Come to me spell. 2 candles, figural candles, male, female, or female, female, male, male, whatever, moving toward one another, right? 7 days, you're moving them one step closer till finally those little stumps at the very end are touching one another. But you can also do this with the reverse. 2 candles, black candles facing back to back, and you march them away from one another. And that is to get someone out of your life. You could dress those candles with things to clear and cleanse if you wanted just a peaceful separation. Herbs for clearing and cleansing like lemongrass, lemon balm, salt, rue, et cetera, et cetera. You could get that negativity out of your life. And that the 7th day you let those burn. You take those 2 candle remains and you leave them at crossroads far apart from one another. That will get that person out of your life. Now, if you want to do cleansing bath, you can apply those herbs to your cleansing bath. Salt and Epsom salt, which are clearing and protecting. And then you add lemongrass to that bath and you're cutting any negativity, right? Perfect. Love it. But if you're having a relationship where there's a lot of karmic ties and all of that, like meaning a romantic relationship, and you can't get over this person, or even sometimes this can happen with parents where you need a parent out of your life, but you can't get over the feeling of lack of that parent in your life, you can use that 9 walnuts spell that I talked about earlier to do that. Okay. Hi, everybody. Cute. You guys with your little waves and your pictures. I love that. You Baba's broom. What if you did a novena jinx removing, but it burns clear, and it burns clear, but a reader is still picking up a jinx is on you? Did something go wrong with the original cleansing? I don't know what your reader is picking up on. I don't know what they're doing. Here's what I would say. My first inclination is to say, are they trying to keep you hooked in with doing spell work with them? Or are they saying something like, look, go home and do a cleansing bath. I think you still need to have some cleansing work done, or we're still seeing the attachment and the jinx effects happening. I don't know, because I don't know the details of your situation, and I'm not the one doing the reading or making the suggestion. So I'm second guessing what they're doing. And I'm just going to say in general, I think ethical root workers and ethical readers will not demand that you pay for any additional work. Oh, you need to do this thing. I will make recommendations to people based on what I see in the cards, but I also say, look, you can do that yourself at home. The option exists that you could have me do that work for you. I'm happy to do it. But the option also exists that you could do it at home where it's much less expensive. And I show you how to do it with things that cost, under $10, right? A single candle, well, maybe not, maybe $10. All right. You get a bottle of oil, you get a candle, you get some sea salt and Epsom salt, those kinds of things. It's not like it's, hundreds of dollars. But if someone is saying, yeah, you've got this jinx on you and you need to do a bunch of candles and you need to do a bunch of work and you need to pay me to do this work because you can't do it yourself, I would sort of question that, because there are unethical people out there. And I'm not saying that your reader is. I don't know your reader. I don't know the details of your situation, but there are people out there that are scam artists or keep people hooked into them. They're energy vampires too. Hey, they may be doing all that work and they may be showing you they're doing all that work. But if what they're demanding is that you continue to do work, even when your things are looking good and your life is looking good, I'd be a little nervous about that. Ask them if there's something that you can do. I don't know if they've said to you, oh yeah, do something at home. If that's the case, then you're fine. But ask them if there's something that you can do at home to get rid of this stuff and see what they say. If they say, no, you have to have me do this work, I would say that root worker, mm-mm. If they're saying, yeah, you can do this at home, here's some bath crystals, or here's some oil, or here's some this, or whatever. I mean, they could sell you a product, but they're not demanding that you do expensive work that they do. I would just sort of, ask that question, because I've heard some very intensely scammy stories. It doesn't mean that the person isn't doing the work, but they're hooked into you like a vampire and they're sucking you financially. They're sucking you dry. So they could be doing work, but if it's taking all your money to do that work, I don't think that's good when you don't have to. That's what I teach you guys over and over again, is that you can do this work yourself. So you don't have to rely on root workers. If you can't burn a candle at home or you need some assistance, that's what a root worker should be there for. But if they're demanding that you do the work through them and only through them, I think that's a little shady. I'm going to give you one example, one of many, 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 many stories that I've heard. I had a client come to me who said, I have an ancestral curse on me. I said, well, we can take a look at that. And yes, I had another reader read for me, and they said that I had this ancestral curse. Okay. And they said that I had to get a candle and burn a candle for every year that I've been alive. And I'm 35 years old. I'm like, okay, that's a bit shady. A candle, 35 candles is going to be pricey. And they're like, yeah, and each candle is $700. And I was like, are you bananas? $700 times 35 is what they're demanding that you pay them to remove an ancestral curse. You don't need to pay that money to remove any kind of curse, ancestral or otherwise. There are things that you can do yourself. So just be careful if people are financial vampires and are taking from you and insisting that you continue to do work, even when things are looking good. Doesn't mean there's not something. I would ask them why they see that there's something negative. Where are they getting that information? Where are they getting that the jinx is there? How are they seeing it? You can ask those questions. And a legit reader will say, "Oh, well, I see this," or, "Oh, the glass cracked," or your petition paper burned up, or whatever. They're going to have a reason for it. But if they're just saying, "Yeah, I still think that jinx is on you. You need to burn another candle with me," that's you're in that territory with that person that's charging $700 times 35. Maybe not that extreme, but come on, that's a financial vampire. So watch out for financial vampires. All right. Love Island. Hello, I would like to know what to do with wax that is for someone who is incarcerated. Should I leave it at the crossroads or bury it in front of the house? It's a Black Hawk court candle. Okay, so you're doing wax so that they get justice, to protect someone and to get justice for them. That's what I'm gathering from getting a Black Hawk candle. If you can, might not be possible and it would be a little scary, but if you could leave it at the prison where they're at, that might be something to do. If you could leave it at a crossroads near the prison, that would be amazing to do. And what you can do is wrap it up in brown paper and just leave that brown paper bag or brown paper in the center of the crossroads. It's a quiet intersection near the prison. If it's not possible, or it just seems too shady, or there's too many guards and weird, it feels too scary and weird, then I would say do it with, you could just leave it at general crossroads. If your spell was to get them back home, then you would bury it in front of your house. But if your spell was to get them free and justice, you should leave it at a crossroads. Okay, my recommendation. BX Cat Lover, how often do you suggest you get a reading on a specific situation? I say, for me personally, you can get, I tell my clients, they say, well, when can I come back and talk to you again? And I say, you can come back anytime. Sometimes you need to have support as you're going through something, and a reading can be like those little signposts that you need, like you're on the right path. Yeah, things are getting better. Things are good. You can do that as often as you need to have those little signposts. But if the situation is the same and you've done no action or spell work around it, your answer is probably going to be the same. But if you see a shift in something, if you've done some spell work on something, it's been a while and you're not sure where things stand, then you definitely will get a more informative reading. So it depends on, I guess, the energy of what you want for a reading. Do you want support as you go along? Then you can do it anytime. If you want new information, then something has to have shifted. Either you have to have done your spell work around it. Oh, let's see what my spell work produced. Or you have to see some kind of shift or change, or maybe you have another question all entirely about that same subject. That's fine too, that you didn't ask the first time. Choas Kid, thank you. I have a lot of negativity thrown at me. Thanks. Have you announced the winner yet? No, haven't announced the winner. Not till, I believe, Monday or Tuesday. We'll all announce it. All of our accounts will announce it. So yeah, it's coming. Will I come to New Jersey? Love Island says, will you come to New Jersey, possibly to Wildwood on the boardwalk with the other tarot readers, or Atlantic City? Probably not those places, but I will be probably coming to Brooklyn. I know it's a little bit of a distance. Maybe there's a place in New Jersey that I can come to. I'm kind of feeling out places out there and kind of, putting out my feelers. But September, I'll definitely be on the East Coast. Probably not with the other tarot readers on the boardwalk. Although Atlantic City is pretty swell. I have to admit, I have this kind of real affection for it because my mom used to go there as a kid. My mom lived in Philly, and so she'd go up to Atlantic City and to the boardwalk and have her fun. And the last time when my mom was alive, the last time I went to Atlantic City, I brought her back some saltwater taffy, and she was like in heaven. It was like, she's like, no saltwater taffy tastes like Atlantic City saltwater taffy. I'm like, okay. But she was like, it was like I had bought her the best thing ever. She was so cute, my mom. All right. So, uh, Marietta Dryer, do you have your protection oil on your website to buy? Yes, it is live on my website. The powerful protection oil. If you go onto my website, you go to oils, go to shop, and you go to oils, you'll find powerful protection there. It is amazing. It is available to buy. It is mind-blowingly good. I just have to say that. If you like the smell of very Eastern Orthodox or Catholic Church frankincense and myrrh incense, you will be in heaven. And I do. So there you go. It is a very incensey, very frankincense myrrh. It has frankincense and myrrh in it. It's like amazing. So you will love it. Stephen Vermas, great to see you once again. You're always an inspiration. Yes, and I'm going to be here next week. And guys, very exciting. I'll be talking to you from England in 5:55 in California. I'll be talking to you in England when I'm in England and all of that. So, but I think I'm going to move for April. I'm going to move the time up, but I'll tell you next week what that time is. Okay, Brendan Rolls has a question. What astrological body is your favorite? Hi, Brendan. Is your favorite to work with? Go get it, Cancer Queen. You know it. I am a Cancer. I am a moon baby. So I have to say the moon is my favorite to work with because the moon's my mama. I mean, I think that was an easy, you lobbed that one to me. You knew I was going to say the moon, right? Okay. All right, let's look over at Insta. Last couple questions, you guys. Are we going to get any kind of relief from this Mercury retrograde? Yeah, Mercury retrograde is going to be over soon. I believe the 28th, we're going to have Mercury retrograde. This Mercury retrograde was a doozy. It was an interesting one because it was in the sign of Pisces and it had a lot of Piscean energy in it. So my observation is that it was a lot of misunderstandings where there were hurt feelings, which is kind of Piscean sensitivity, right? There's an amazing empathy that opens up, and to go back and to fix things or to work things, it can be very, very powerful. But there were a lot of miscommunications at this time where people unintentionally hurt other people's feelings. I saw that over and over again with my clients. Happened to me where I said something that I was very innocently saying something and somebody got their feelings hurt and I had to go back and say, no, that's not what I meant. I was just, saying this thing. I didn't know the system, or, I didn't know what I was just asking a question. I wasn't questioning you or insulting you or whatever. So I saw that happening with this Mercury retrograde. So we're almost out of it. It's going to be over in a few days and then we'll be out of it. We'll have the little bit of the emergence from it. But yeah, you can just sit with it, go with it. Mercury retrograde is a great time. This is the thing. Everyone's like Chicken Little with the sky is falling. Yeah, it's not a great time to do your sign business contracts or project things forward, but it is a great time to revise things. It's a great time to fix something that was broken in the past or to make it better or to improve it or to fix relationships. I think this Piscean one was a fabulous one for going back and like saying and doing reconciliation work with lovers and friends where there's been misunderstanding. So it can be a great one for going and fixing things, but it can also initiate those new misunderstandings too. So all right, guys, just real quick, this Wednesday, I'm going to be on Third Eye Thinkers podcast, which is on YouTube and it's on iTunes and it's live at 2 p.m. Pacific time. And I'll be there with Michelle from Soultopia and her sidekick. Well, I can't quite remember her name, but I'll remember it then. And we're going to talk and it'll be fun. April, I'll be in the UK and possibly going to Paris. I'll see you guys from there. It'll be fun. Probably make those or move our sessions up to noon or something like that. And in May, I'm going to be at Lightweavers in Citrus Heights in Sacramento. So you'll have to come and see me, Sacramento people. We've also got a possible July date at Serpent's Kiss in Santa Cruz. I forgot to mention that, but we don't have the dates yet. It may be in July, so I don't know. But Serpent's Kiss is on the horizon. And East Coast, Boston, Brooklyn, some other places. If you've got places that you think I should go to, send me a DM on Instagram or post in the comments below this this video on YouTube, and let me know places that you think I ought to hit up. If you know a shop there that stocks my book, even better, because that means they know who I am. I love you guys. Have a beautiful, beautiful rest of your Sunday. Bye. Bye, guys. I can take down my phone now. Bye, guys. Have a great, great Sunday. Love you guys so much. My spell squad, you are everything to me. So have a beautiful rest of your day. See you next week at same bat time, same bat channel. Same spell time, same spell channel. Love you guys so much. Talk to you soon. Bye.